Most rapid start arguments in relationships happen because we make one critical mistake. In this video, I'm going to tell you what this mistake is, why you're likely to make it again, and what to say to your partner to overcome it. Hey there, I'm Neal. For over 10 years, I've worked as a couples counselor, helping those in conflict find calm and connection. I've come to believe that with all the variety and complexity of relationships, there's one thing we all tend to do that makes things so much worse. We say things that are not true. Now, we usually don't mean to say things that are not true. The things that we say are real. They're just not true. Confused yet? It's okay, because when you get to the end of this video, it will all make sense and it will help you avoid conflict in the future. You see, when information starts bouncing around in your brain, whether it's something your partner said or did, or a thought you made up all on your own, that becomes a kind of echo chamber. It's our natural human tendency to go all Karen on those thoughts and perceptions. We make them bigger, harsher, and more threatening than they were in the first place. The longer we let them bounce around unchecked, the bigger and more threatening they may become. These thoughts become what we call an internal narrative, a story you're crafting in your mind about what's going on, why, and what's likely to happen in the future. The problem is twofold when we do this. First, these stories are never Hallmark holiday stories or quirky sitcoms. They are horror movies where there's danger lurking around every corner. The internal narrative is always the story of your own demise. Now, second, your brain believes these stories. These movies in your head feel like documentaries, not fiction. The basic job of your brain is to help you survive a complex and dangerous world. This means that the part of your brain that sees everything as a threat is about 10 times faster than the part that can analyze the thought and tell you if it's true or not. 10 times. The part of the brain that believes these thoughts and turns them into a catastrophe immediately starts helping your nervous system prepare to fight the tiger or run away. It's 10 times faster than the part of your brain that says, hold on a second, that may not be true. Now, if you're faced with an actual threat, this is pretty helpful. We don't need to know what kind of tiger we're facing. We just need to know that it's a tiger, and we need to take action. But in the modern world, we don't face many actual tigers. We face a lot of lower level stressors that the brain tends to make worse than they really are. This can be really hard on our relationships until we know what to do about it. So here's a fictitious example of this in action. Let's say you get home from a long day of work and your partner doesn't seem very happy to see you. They seem ambivalent, focused on what they're looking at on their phone instead. Well, you don't really know why they're acting like this, but you know it hurts your feelings. From there, the tendency is to take that experience and turn it into a catastrophe. Why are they mad at me? I didn't do anything. Maybe they're just tired of me. Oh no, we talked about breaking up 2 years ago and they probably held on to that. They may be thinking about breaking up with me now. If we break up, I'll be all alone again. We moved for their job and I'll have nothing. I already left all my friends and I'll have to move again. This is so unfair. How could they do this to me? You know, I've had so many failed relationships. It must just be me. Nobody is ever going to love me. I'm going to grow old lonely and die all alone. Now, this entire mental journey from my partner doesn't seem happy to see me to I'm lovable, unlovable, and going to die alone happens in the blink of an eye. When you tell yourself this story, the nervous system isn't far behind. Before you can blink, you're in full-on fight or flight mode. Then you respond accordingly as if your partner's apparent indifference really was a sign of your impending demise. This response is typically unhelpful. Your partner takes the bait as they play out their own mental slasher movie, and you're off and running in a full-blown rapid startup argument. Now, the details will be different in your situation, but does this sound familiar or believable to you? Trust me, it happens all the time. It's not just you. If you could disrupt this pattern, you may be able to ask your partner if they're feeling okay. Then they may tell you they have a migraine and were stressed about money, wondering if they could pay their half of the bills this month. Maybe you recognize the story you were telling yourself wasn't the case at all, and now you have an opportunity to support your partner in a difficult time instead. Now, I believe there's one important thing we can say to our partners in these moments that can completely change the flow of the conversation for the better. We need to get used to saying this. This is the story I'm telling myself. You see, when you start there, you're leading with something critically important. The understanding that the relationship slasher movie that's playing in your brain is not based on truth. It's all perception that's been manipulated by your fear-focused brain. You're acknowledging that this may not be what's really going on, and you're giving your partner a chance to help slow that conversation down and discuss what really is going on. Second, it respects that while your internal narrative isn't true, it is real. Now, how can this be? How can something be true but not real? Well, let's look at the difference between true and real. I teach a 4-part definition for what's true. To be true, something must be 1, accurate, 2, verifiable, 3, right here, and 4, right now. Verifiably accurate in the here and now. If it doesn't meet all 4 of those, it's awfully hard to have a productive conversation in ways that create meaningful results. Even if that internal narrative doesn't meet those standards, the story is still resonating with your nervous system because you still feel the effects of this fictitious story. It's absolutely real. The stress you feel in your body and the way that influences your words and actions are all completely real. So by starting with, here's the story I'm telling myself, you win on 2 really important levels. First, you admit to your partner that the thing you're thinking about is probably not verifiably accurate in the here and now. So they are far less likely to receive it as an accusation. They're less likely to counterattack because they may not even perceive an attack. Second, you become vulnerable with your partner about your own pain. You're admitting to them that whatever your perceptions, you're feeling uncomfortable. This gives your partner the opportunity to try to understand those feelings. Remember, feelings just are. They're not based on truth, and they don't have to be. They're valid no matter what. I encourage you to check out my video on validating feelings. That link is right up here at the top of the screen. Now, whether your hurt feelings are based on truth or fiction, you're still hurting. Sharing this promotes empathy and compassion. It gives your partner a chance to provide support for you and your hurt feelings. Now, it requires you both to understand these concepts. So if you're going to lean into these ideas, be sure to share this video with your partner so they'll be clear about how you're working on this issue. If you can both make a good faith effort to engage this concept, amazing things can happen in your relationship. So get used to leading with, this is the story I'm telling myself, and give your partner a chance to help avoid blow-up arguments about things that have no basis in truth anyway. Hey friends, thanks for being here. Please remember to like this video and subscribe with notifications below. That way you'll get instant access to all my videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be well.